we're on to the second league of the day. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we get. Heartless summoning, Heartless summoning. So if you'll recall, I've done a deck tech on the Emeria brought back deck. This is the same basic concept, but we're not playing Emeria anymore. So the idea is to use either Heartless summoning to reduce the casting costs of our creatures by 2, or use brought back in combination with hopefully 2 fetch lands to ramp out. And then we can play big beater stuff like Nazguls, Elesh Norn, Sheoldred, and of course Grief and Solitude. We also have Ephemerate to get their abilities again, and we can do the whole turn 1 Grief Ephemerate plan, or Malakir Rebirth them, so we're kind of on the scam plan as well. Additionally, we have 2 Call of the Rings to keep getting the Ring Tempt 2 triggers for the Nazgul, 1 Boromir, and that is the core of the deck. The land base, I am maxing out on how many fetch lands we can play so that we can most of the time have double fetch lands into brought back if possible. Sideboard is another Boromir, another Call of the Ring, Break the Ice for the Tron mirror, for the Tron matchup and other such decks, Leyline of the Void for graveyards, one of the Transform Sheoldred for when that's relevant, Pithing Needle, and Soulless Jailer. So, let us jump into the second league of the day with the Heartless Summoning brought back deck. Alright, round 1 on the play. What do we got? Nothing really, just 2 Scam Spells and Elesh Norn. Alright, not keepable hand, so let's mull this. This hand has 2 lands in it because Malakir Rebirth is a land, so let's keep this and put back one of the Heartless Summonings since we never need 2 of these. So I guess the best bet is to go, this is a land on turn 1 into Heartless, so play that and pass. Well, we're against Burn, Goblin Guide. Revealed another Heartless Summoning on top, unfortunate. So Flooded, fetch, let's grab a Plains, and play Heartless Summoning, and pass the turn. Opponent plays Swift Spear, brought back is on top. So we're getting really bad draws here, unfortunately. We go to 14, opponent skewers us. Post-combat, we're down to 11. All right, let's just play Boromir and pass the turn. And then I'm just going to try to trade with this Goblin Guide, I guess. Swing, Goblin Guide triggers. We finally got a land. So let's block here. Opponent casts Boros Charm. Target creature gains double strike. So they're double striking their Goblin Guide. All right, well, I guess we just sack Boromir then. Then we go to 9. Call of the Ring, also a horrible draw. Yeah, we're just dead. We're just not drawing anything. So land, and I guess we play Call of the Ring, and then just pass. Another Goblin Guide. So Goblin Guide triggers, we drew 2 lands. We go to 4. Opponent skewers us to 1. Now we can't even use the Marsh Flats to fetch. We can't actually play any lands in our hand. All right, well, we finally actually drew a card, but it's too late. So yeah, we're dead. On to game number 2. So let's see. Against Burn, we don't really have anything. I guess this makes them sack a creature, so that's fine. And the Soulless Jailers can block at the very least. Probably don't want to be paying 2 life a whole bunch. And what else? Nah, I think our core strategy is good. It's just we just drew horribly that game. Yeah, we just drew horribly that game, so let's just do this and run it back. All right, on the play. We do have the turn 1 Grief, so keep. So let's go fetch Godless, then Grief them, then Malakir Rebirth it back. So get Godless Shrine, and then we go Grief, exiling Nazgul, and then we'll just... All right, what's in their hand? They're playing Moria Marauder. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. All right, I guess I just want to get rid of all of their removal, right? But I can't get rid of all their removal. So what is the best combination of removal I can get rid of? I guess Riftbolt on turn 1, and then Searing Blaze. Yeah, so let's do that. So Riftbolt, then Malakir Rebirth this, comes back, and then take Searing Blaze, and pass. All right, Sunbait Canyon, Swift Spear, and they attack us down to 14. Heartless Summoning. So I assume what they're going to do is they're going to go land Searing Blaze to kill Grief, and then I can use Brought Back, but that doesn't seem very good for me either. Oh no, I took Searing Blaze. They're going to use Lightning Helix, right? So they're going to go land, Helix the Grief, and then we can't block anymore. So it at least forces them to Helix Grief instead, unless I play Heartless Summoning this turn, but I need to play Heartless Summoning so that I can potentially get Solitude next turn. I'm never racing them, so let's just play Heartless Pass. There's Islet. They can also just attack, and then if I block, they Helix us, but that at least stops 2 damage. Yeah, sure, block. Oh, they're just going to trade? Really? Moria Marauder. All right, I really need to draw land. That is not a land, but it is an Ephemerate. They still have Lightning Helix in their hand, so I go Solitude, pitching, Ephemerate, kill this, and then I go Brought Back on Solitude, and they just Helix it. I guess if they tap out for something. All right, evoke Solitude, get rid of Ephemerate, kill that. Awesome. All right, so that resolves. Then we go brought back on Solitude. Kill this one. Our hand is super light now, though. Ooh, Ephemerate. All right, attack with Solitude. So is Moria Marauder the new hot tech and burn? Lightning Helix, Ephemerate. And both their lands are damaging them. All right, no rebound on this. Another land. So let's go land and combat. Swing here. All right, we do actually have to draw action, though. Goblin Guide. Lava Spike us. We're at 15. They're just not attacking. I guess I'm fine trading with that. Another Solitude. Oh, I can just play this now. All right, so fetch the other planes. Play Solitude. Kill Goblin Guide off. And then attack with this Solitude. All right, we won. And then I'm pretty sure just run back the exact same thing again. All right, submit. So we're on the draw against Burn in game 3. Let's see. Brought back with only one fetch land. We have Solitude, but no way to pitch to it. This hand's not great. So this hand becomes good if I draw any other white card or Heartless Summoning. I guess I can keep it. All right, keep Vantage, Goblin Guide. What's on top? Brought back is on top. All right, so draw brought back, and then we still need to wait a turn, unfortunately. But so I should play Godless Shrine now. I guess it doesn't entirely matter. So the fact that both the planes are in our deck means we're going to take a lot of damage. All right, play the Marsh Flats and pass the turn. I just need to 100% confirm that I can get Solitude back here. So another land, another Goblin Guide. All right, looking good for our Solitude plan now. Fetches a mountain, plays Swift Spear. Am I going to have the time to do this? Elish Norn on top. I guess I don't have to brought back a land, and this saves us on some life. So let's just fetch this now, grab Godless Shrine, and resolve the other guide trigger, Malakir Rebirth. All right, and then we go to 12, back to here. And then I think I honestly do this now before they can removal it in response. So Solitude, exile brought back, kill. I guess I'm going to leave a Goblin Guide around. So kill Swift Spear off, and then brought back this, and kill one of the guides, and back to them. I guess they can't removal it in response, but that's fine. All right, brought back on top. So bolt our guy. All right, so we just play the Nazgul now, I guess. Nazgul, trigger. All right, and go. This unfortunately dies to all their burn, but what are you going to do? Bolts it out of the way. All right. Shieldred on top, which we unfortunately have to shock for. Oh, it's that Shieldred. Whew, this is rough then. We just can't do anything. All right, play this tapped, I guess, and just go. And then they hit us down to 6 plus whatever burn they have in hand. We're probably just too slow. Lightning Helix, we're down to 5. And then I can't shock in this Godless Shrine. Oh, no, I can shock it. All right, we're dead. All right, burn got us. On to round number 2. All right, game 2 on the play. All right, Heartless into Shieldred seems pretty good, so let's keep this. So let's just go Godless Shrine, tapped, pass. Overgrown Tomb, Young Wolf. All right, we're against Yawgmoth. Heartless Summoning, and go. And then next turn I can go Shock and Godless, play Shieldred, hold Ephemerate up in case they grist it. Take one from the Wolf, go to 19. Man, we're just drawing lands nonstop, eh? I guess I have a basic Swamp, right? So let's just fetch that. Swamp, play Shieldred. I presume 2 mana do nothing is Bowmasters. Yep, there's the Bowmasters. We go to 17, they make a token. Then they go down to 16. Delighted Halfling. So we actually don't have good attacks on them, right? They can actually quad block to kill Shieldred. Holy crap, just drawn lands. We've just only drawn lands. All right, play a tap land, pass the turn. Black, green. Yeah, so this is Grist. So there's Grist. They sack a creature, so they're going to sack something. Don't know what. This or this. All right, Young Wolf. Targeting here, Ephemerate it. Still don't have good attacks on Grist. All right, just no rebound here. Well, we drew brought back. So let's see, I can attack Grist, and then if they block everything on it, I do brought back on it. So let's go land, combat, swing at Grist. All right, so they're just gonna let Grist die off and then pass it back to them. Well, they're down to 12. Another Grist. Have you been keeping up with the Pro Tour at all? I vaguely am aware of it from just osmosis and what you guys in the chat have been saying. As I understand it, it's basically Scam and Tron are everywhere. They're basically at the top tables as well, and that the Ring and Bowmasters are everywhere. All the people running the decks I wanted to see lost too many games in draft. So they can minus again, and then that will actually resolve. And then we'll brought back Shielded plus land. No, they're just plussing this time. All right. No attacks either. All right, I'm going to spin my deck because this is ridiculous. All right, there's Boromir. Play Boromir. Combat. Swing at Grist. Block, block, block. It doesn't really matter because this has Death Touch. Yeah, let's just sack Boromir, I guess. And then I could get Boromir back with the brought back, but I don't even want to. I guess it's probably correct to do that, actually. Let's see. If I do that, then they minus Grist. Now, because I want them to minus Grist and lose a card, and then we just get this back. All right, pass the turn. All right, opponent's down to 10. There was a Tron mirror yesterday where the whole match was 6 minutes, and it was the two people who were 7-0. Yeah, that's how Tron mirrors go. Who's on the play? Do they get Tron on time? They win. Minus Young Wolf. Young Wolf comes back, kills Shieldred. This is tapped, right? Yeah. Take damage from the insect. All right, fetch. Grab the last land out of our deck. Brought back these two. I never thought I'd be rooting for creativity in a tournament, but here I am because it's one of the few unique decks left in the tournament. Well, we drew Heartless Summoning. We're just drawing absolute trash. Like, just incredible. All right, attack Grist. We are actually still in the game, though, because of this Shieldred. So attack Grist. I am really sad Scam didn't dominate. So you're one of the... you're on the dark side then, are you? Okay, so they can actually block a whole bunch here and kill Shieldred off. Very unfortunate. So ping Shieldred, and then they just can just put like these two plus Delighted Halfling on it, or they can put Young Wolf plus the token on it. Oh, I hate Scam. I want it to be dealt with more than any other deck. Okay, so you wanted it to dominate so that it would get banned. Gotcha. All right, well, I guess I trade for all of these. All right, pass turn to the opponent. It's funny because some people are rooting for Tron as a bastion of quote-unquote old modern. Zulaport Cutthroat. They're attacking us with just the insect. The Watsy and their Infinite Wisdom would be like, Scam did well, let's ban Forest. All right, call the ring, and then we just pass. Flashes in another Bowmasters, makes another token. So they have Yawgmoth mana, and they can chord for Yawgmoth. So swing, swing, swing. Swing with just the tokens that can attack. No, swing with Bowmasters as well. Nope. All right, we take 3 and go to 17. Plays another Halfling. All right, ring tempts us, but it doesn't do anything because we don't control a creature. All right, there's Norn, but it doesn't matter because Grist will just kill her. So I guess I just keep waiting until I find another piece of action. Yeah, just pass it back to them. Playing Norn here really doesn't do anything. They just go, oh, sack a creature, kill Norn off. I need to like also draw Solitude or something so that I can get all the triggers. Grist makes a token. They're attacking us with basically everything except for Orcish Bowmasters and Zulaport because they don't, in case we have some way of flashing a creature in to kill those. Eldritch Evolution away, Bowmasters. Well, they had that last turn. They were hesitant to do it. Why didn't they just do it last turn and then win? We're at 10, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't quite have us dead to Yawgmoth. But if they draw Young Wolf, then we're dead. They could have killed you if they didn't plus Grist. I don't see how. But they should have enough creatures here, right? Now they can fetch Dryad Arbor, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or they can just find any... Like, if they just find Young Wolf, we lose the game. Even if we don't lose the game right now, we still have to draw... Like, I don't know what we could even draw. They're going to put us to an incredibly low life total with just with the creatures they have on the board. All right, there's Strangler, guys, so now we're dead. All right, Pithing Needle in. Leyline of the Void. You would think this would be good, but it actually isn't even that good. They can still just beat you with the beatdown plan of just attacking. It does stop their Undyers and Zulaport, though, so I guess we do have to bring it in. It's just not as good as it looks. So Leyline. What else do I want to get rid of? Boromir's not actually very good here. Call of the Ring is like slow and grindy, which is not great against them. We do need it. We do need at least one of it, though, for the Nazguls. What do I cut to make room for all this? I just don't have as much stuff as that I can actually cut. Maybe I just shave a bunch of stuff, like shave a Brought Back, shave a Heartless. Actually, hang on. Norn is pretty bad in this matchup. She just dies to Grist and doesn't actually stop anything they're doing. Cut an Ephemerate and a Brought Back. Let's do that. All right, submit. On the play. Let's see. I do have turn 1 Double Grief, but then I have nothing to follow that up with. Turn 1 Double Grief with 0 follow-up does not actually seem that good. Because I take like 2 things, and then this is only a 3-2. It's too slow to actually kill them. If I just don't draw more, I need to draw more lands to even do anything. If this hand had a second land in it, then I would do it. Mulligan. 6 lands in Malakir Rebirth. All right. Mulligan. All right. 1 land. Okay, I guess Malakir Rebirth's the other land. So keep this. Putting back what? Brought back to 0 with this hand, and then Ephemerate as well. So play this and pass the turn. And then we go turn 2, Heartless, and then we go Nazgul plus Pithing Needle on probably just Yawgmoth. Ooh, and a Call of the Ring. All right, Heartless, pass the turn. So if Yawgmoth doesn't do anything on turn 1, it means their turn 2 is almost certainly just like Wall of Roots into more things. Although, why wouldn't they have played that on turn 1? So maybe it's just Bowmasters. They're playing Pendelhaven. Huh. Man, Bowmasters is so all over the place in the metagame that they're playing Pendelhaven to protect their X1s. Boseiju. All right, let's go grab Godless Shrine. So there's Leyline. I guess I just play Nazgul right now. So Nazgul, and then next turn Needle Ring. All right, land number 3. Plays Wall of Roots. This is greater power, right? It's Skulk, Delighted Halfling, and another Delighted Halfling. If they've had all this, why didn't they play any of this in the preceding turns? All right, I probably just need to Needle Yawgmoth. All right, combat, swing, all right, call the ring, needle, Yawg, Moth, Thran, position, pass to them. Cord for 1 to get Haywire Might. Yeah, so there goes the needle. And there's Yawgmoth. So sack a halfling, target our guy. They can spend the other 2 guys to kill this. Oh, and they have a land to go fetch Dryad Arbor. Oh no, they're not fetching Dryad Arbor. So they have Young Wolf then? No? So they can cord for 1 and get Young Wolf? Jesus Christ, they just have everything. Cord for Haywire, and they have Yawgmoth in their hand, and then they have another cord to go fetch Young Wolf and kill our guy and draw a million cards. Yep. What are we doing on our turn? This is dying, and then we just play, like, Nazgul. If I draw a land, I play Leyline of the Void. So they're going to kill this off so that our ring doesn't let us draw a card. Even if I play Leyline, they still have a million cards that they can draw. It's a tap land. All right, play that, play Nazgul. So we draw a card from the Call the Ring, Solitude, which we can't play. All right, opponent has 5 cards in hand and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana plus a bunch of draws. Another Young Wolf, so now they can ping pong these 2 back and forth. So they both have +1 counters on them now. So they just play another creature. Yeah, all right, Strangleroot. Well, there goes our Nazgul. And they just go to combat and attack us for 5. Even if I play Leyline of the Void next turn, then they just have like lethal creatures on the board. All right, we've maxed our ring out. Remember when everyone was like, oh, we need to ban KCI because, you know, it can win through disruption? I don't know why that came to mind right now. All right, I have to evoke Solitude here. So let's play Leyline. They can go get a Haywire Might and activate it. I guess I do it now. I guess. All right, evoke Solitude, target Yawg. And then even if I kill Yawgmoth, they still have 7 power of creatures in play. So I have to draw like incredibly well to not lose from here. 7 powers of creatures, plus they're gonna 6 cards and another card drawn on their turn. Bowmasters. Yeah, all right, there's no way we can possibly get out of this. All right, round number 3. All right, round 3 on the play with the Heartless brought back deck. This hand doesn't actually do anything until turn 4, basically, so it's not keepable. Mulligan. All right, this is better. Oh, I've got brought back on turn. Yeah, so this is a brought back hand. So I'll keep this and throw back, I guess, one of the Nazguls. Keep this, toss a Nazgul back, done. Opponent mulls to 5. Opponent mulls to 4. Well, either their hands have just been absolutely terrible or they're Tron. So play a land, go. They are indeed Tron. I can grief them. I'm not going to, though. So land and pass. Well, they've almost got Tron. So end step, fetch, grab a Godless Shrine. Fetch, grab another Godless Shrine. And then cast Brought Back on these 2 lands. All right, now I am going to grief them. I guess I can evoke grief and then ephemerate it, which might be better given that we really need to keep them from doing something too good. And then I can just play Call of the Ring. All right, so grief, exile Nazgul. All right, what's in their hand? Ring and Karn, and they do have Natron. So we're going to take both of these. Ephemerate, Karn, then play Call of the Ring, and pass. So Tron's online. All right, I don't need really any more lands at this point, so I'm just going to fetch the other Godless Shrine out of the deck. Grab the other Shrine, and then I don't even think I'm ephemerating this because they have 1 card, and what could they have drawn that... I guess they could have drawn plenty of 8 drops and 10 drops that they couldn't play this turn. Yeah, so I will just rebound. Yeah, sure. Let's see if they drew anything relevant. All right, they just drew another tower. So, and then draw a card with the Call of the Ring. Let's play a land. Let's play Nazgul. I'm going to switch the Ring Bearer to my Nazgul because this one's going to get bigger. All right, draw a card off the ring. I am getting pretty low on life, so I can't keep doing that. All right, another tower. Yeah, let's fetch the last planes out of our deck. Call of the Ring trigger. Pick the Nazgul. And then let's draw a card. Go to 5. Nazgul gets bigger. Man, we're just drawing lands. All right. Combat. So we swing with both of these. They take 6 and go to 14. We get to loot with the Nazgul. All right, pass turn. And then Solitude plus another trigger represents another 4 damage here. They play the land. Ooh, they drew O-Stone. All right. Well, they have to pop it now if they don't want me to draw more cards. All right, let's get the Swamp out of our deck. All right, call the Ring trigger. Pick this. I guess I'll pay the 2. Draw another card. Ooh, brought back. What a great draw that was. All right, go to combat. Swing, swing. So now they're blowing O-Stone. Very well. We still get to loot. Discard a land. And then I can just brought back them both. Let's get them both back. Oh, let's get back. Let's see. Grief doesn't do anything here, so let's get back Call Nazgul. And then I'm short of being able to do the rest. Let's see. How much damage does that represent? I need to keep Ring tempting in order to get the Nazgul bigger, so let's get back Nazgul plus the Ring. Obviously not paying the life. And then I guess I'm just going to play Grief, because, like, when else am I doing this? Oh, they actually have Ancient Strings in their hand. All right, pass the turn. So we're dead to Ugin. Okay, they drew a land. So pick the Nazgul as our ring bearer. No ring draw since we're at 2. Another land. All right, combat. Swing here and here. We get to loot, discard this. And then I want to hold Solitude up instead of just playing the Nazgul. This triggers. They go down more. Bunch of mana. Karn. All right, we can beat Karn. Minus that. So let's just flash Solitude in. Eat my guy. All right, so 1 game 1. So Tron, I want Needle, and I want all the Break the Ices. Boromir does protect us from O-Stone activations. So what is not good? Solitude's pretty weak. It kills Ulamog and such, but we don't need all this of them. What else is bad? Elesh Norn's not great. We can cut down on these. Another 4 cuts. What's going? Cut down to 1 Solitude. What else? 1 Heartless. 1 Brought Back. I guess Boromir is only useful against O-Stone, and that's it. All right, we don't need the other one in. Let's run this. So we do have the turn 2 Heartless summoning. We don't have double black for Grief, but I think I will keep this. Now, let me think about that more. I can draw better things. I can draw Break the Ice. This hand is just so unbelievably slow, and I don't have the second black source to actually play Griefs. Yeah, I can do better than this. Let's mull. Well, this is decidedly worse. So at this point, let's just go to 5. All right, 2 lands with Break the Ice, or 3 lands actually, so let's keep this. What is bad here? I am not ephemerating anything, and the Nazgul is kind of weak, just like not fast enough here, so put that back. Tower, Expedition map. All right, another Malkia Rebirth, let's play this pass, and then we'll go fetch Godless Shrine, Break the Ice on one of your lands. Forest mapping for another Tron piece, mine. Brought Back, which I can't cast. Yeah, let's just put them down mana. Fetch, Godless Shrine, Break the Ice here. So there's the mine. Another map. All right, play this and pass it back. Plays Urza's Saga. Really? Map for another Tron piece, presumably. Urza's Tower. All right, let's just get Shieldred out and pass it back. Dismember. Well, I wasn't ever going to play around that, so be it. Urza's Tower. 4 mana for Karn, and then we're just going to lose the game now. Karn for Liquid Metal. Yeah. None of our cards do anything. We're dead. Game 3. I guess I just keep this the same. Does it sacrifice a non-token creature or walker? I guess that is actually useful. That in, and what else? So I have basically 24 lands. I can cut one of these Malkirs, I think. But I'm not sure. Maybe I just cut Heartless instead, or one of the Nazguls. I don't need to play all 9. Yeah, the Nazguls are actually not that great here. Is Scam Brought Back better than regular Moldrifter list? I think that the Moldrifter list had problems too. I'll discuss the issues with the deck at the end of the league. I think we have to bank on griefing them out or using Break the Ice. Okay. This does nothing. Wait, let's submit this. We've just got a Needle and nothing else to do. We can Needle a map, but that's it. All right, mulligan. All right, we've got Brought Back into Absurdity. So let's keep and throw back a land. Yeah. Pull it, mulls to 4. So the plan is land Brought Back. If we draw 5th land, we can play Norn. Otherwise, we just go other things. All right, land go. Urza's Tower. Map. Grief, eh? Now we need to Brought Back land, pass the turn. And there's the second Tron piece. Mapping for it immediately. Urza's mine. All right, I probably just have to grief them then. So fetch, go grab Godless Shrine, fetch, plains, Brought Back on both these lands. All right, we didn't draw a land, so I just have to grief them. So fetch, Godless Shrine, fetch, plains, cast grief, ring and dismember. So take the ring and pass it back. So there's mine, dismember. All right, I really wish I would have drawn another land for Elesh Norn by now, but without having done that, let's just play the Nazgul. All right, pass the turn. Plays another mine, and then pass back to us. They're not running Gigantha, huh? All right, well, let's, I guess, just play Call the Ring, and then the other Call the Ring, and swing. Try to draw into more lands next turn, assuming they don't draw O-Stone or a million other problems. Forest. All right, passing it back to us, it looks like. No? End step, Beseiju one of our calls, sure. Grab the other Godless Shrine. So Call the Ring. Yes, I would like to draw a card. All right, so let's go Norn. Actually, I can go Nazgul, Nazgul. No, I win next turn if I play Norn, so let's just play Norn. And then I'll play this as a land. Yeah, play this as a land. I guess I get to loot, so I should loot first. Swing, loot, grief down. Yeah, grief's not going to be useful at this point, so get rid of grief. 3, play Norn. Pass the turn. All right, so if we fade one more top deck, we win. Another land. The ring. All right. Well, that'd be a no. Oh, wait, no. I shut off their emblem trigger because of Norn. So I do win. Yeah, I do win. So I just go... I should have a swamp left, right? Nazgul. And then we double the triggers. Warping Whale on the Nazgul. All right. Ephemerate it. More triggers. So many triggers go on the stack now. Yeah, sure, I'll draw. Keep choosing ring bearers, and then I will draw. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna win. So Warping Whale fizzles. All right, I can stop drawing at this point. All right, so this is lethal, so combat. Swing, swing. All right, opponent takes the match. So 1 win, 2 losses so far. On to round number 4. You have lethal now, it doesn't even matter. It would have been better to make the guy and block. Yes, that would have been better. If they just made the Eldrazi Scion, then they could block the Nazgul that I have. Yeah, and then they don't take lethal. They must have thought the ring protected them when they didn't, or they could have just made a misplay. Tried to kill that thing. All right, round 4 on the play. Well, I've got brought back Heartless, so I'll keep this. It's better to do brought back first, I believe. So let's just play land pass. Opponent plays Bloodstained Mire, fetches Sacred Foundry. All right, is this burn? Goblin Guide, yeah, it is burn. Attack us, guide trigger. Elish Norn's on top. I'm actually fine drawing that, so yeah. So we draw Norn, play Windswept Heath, and pass. We unfortunately have to keep getting beaten in by this damage here, but what are you gonna do? So the problem is that the lands that we get back after we fetch have to shock in to tap to get the new ones. Goblin Guide swing, we drew a land. All right, we go to 16. So fetch, let's go get a plains, fetch, go get another plains, cast brought back, then back to us. So fetch a swamp. I could just play Norn, but that's gonna cost me a lot of life. So it's probably better to do what? Heartless summoning and then play Norn? Actually, it costs me the same amount of life regardless, right? I have to shock here and I have to fetch shock. So I go to 8 to play Norn. Or I just play Solitude. Yeah, shock. So may as well just Solitude them. So let's pass it back. I love brought back, but the issues you've ran into with this deck have reminded me of I don't play those decks as often. Yeah, I'll discuss that at the end. So now they burn us on end step. Skullcrack, another land. So unfortunately this puts us to 5 and then we're dead to just 2 burn spells. Nazgul's on top. All right, another Godless Shrine and then cast Solitude. It's at its best when it scams and evoke creatures and ramps 1 land. All right, so they bolt the Solitude. Yeah, they're bolting the Solitude, really, and not us. So if I go Norn, if I go Heartless Summoning, I can play Norn. It's better to just play Norn. I can still play Heartless next turn if I need to. We have 1 more Godless Shrine in the deck, so I may as well play a land. If they have Boros Charm, why didn't they just point Lightning Bolt at our face and win the game? Roiling Vortex and we're dead. All right, so let's see. I don't want to be paying 2 life for Call of the Ring. I don't really have anything against burn. I guess just Soulless Jailer to block them. So another Boromir, Soulless. I guess Sheoldred's fine. Only thing Soulless Jailer does is stop Riftbolt from unsuspending, but Boromir does that too. All right, let's submit this. Game 2 on the play versus burn. My hand has only tapped black lands in it, so we'll mull that. All right, turn 1, double grief. Keep, what am I throwing back? Not lands, not grief or the other black spells. So do I want to keep Boromir or Solitude more? I guess I probably want to keep Solitude more. And we're going to take friggin' so much damage off this turn 1. I guess it's also more likely that I'm able to play Boromir on curve and actually block things with it. I can also just scam in Solitude and gain life. That might be better, but then it just dies to any removal. It's probably better to grief them on turn 1 and then have the 3rd land for Boromir. I'm going to put Solitude back. All right, so Marsh Flats, go fetch a swamp. Evoke Grief, Path to Exile, Lava Spike, Monastery, Swift Spear, Riftbolt. Okay, what am I taking? So Riftbolt and Path can kill this. Skewer can also kill it, but they have to hit me first. But they can do that with Lava Spike. I can also just take Swift Spear out of their hand so they don't have an attacker. So what's the best move? I don't care if they give me a land. So I guess I take Riftbolt and Swift Spear. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, so Riftbolt just gets... Oh yeah, let's take Riftbolt and Swift Spear. And then Malakir... And yeah, they can path it, but whatever. All right, Vantage. So now they either path it and give me another land, or they Lava Spike me. Or they wait a turn and go Lava Spike, Skewer it, which I'm guessing is what they're actually going to do. There's Solitude. So they're going to path me on draw? Sure. Grab a Plains, play a land, go. Islet, suspends Riftbolt. So we can actually Boromir that Riftbolt away. Excellent. All right, Lava Spike, we go to 14. Fetch, grab Godless Shrine, play Boromir, and then pass it back, and then if they don't have instant speed removal, then when Riftbolt unsuspends, it gets countered. They do have it? They do have it. All right, sack this. Well, at least that saves us 3 life from this bolt. So then they Riftbolt us, Skewer us, and we're down to 7, and then 9 when I fetch. Goblin Guide. All right, we drew a land. Fetch, grab this tapped. Ooh, Sheoldred. This flips when our opponent has 8 cards in their graveyard, but this gains us life. So let's see, they can't cast Skewer unless they hit us. I can also just eat my own Sheoldred if I need to gain life. So let's go Shock. I'm in danger of dying regardless of what happens, so let's just play Sheoldred now. So that dies, and then They have to top deck Burn to our face, which they could, but Solitude wouldn't have prevented that either. Blue and red, or they just don't care what the other color is. Yeah, I figured it would be Whirling Vortex. All right, I'm probably going to have to eat our own Shieldred in order to not lose. Yeah, so let's attack them. And unfortunately, I have to just eat Shieldred in order to gain life back while they're tapped out. So then they have Skewer and a random card in their hand. It's a land, so they can just Skewer the Solitude. All right, they're just not going to? Sure, because they can just pay. So we go to 7. They just pay to make us not gain any life. All right, I guess let's play the Nazgul. Why not? All right, that's our Ring Bearer for now. Combat, swing, we loot a card, so we just discard a card. And then they'll pay to no life gain, drawing a card with Islet. Then they go to 8, gets another land, fetches. So they're down to 7. All right, we're dead. Then they skewer us, and then we lose on upkeep to the Vortex. Well, that's how it goes. 1 and 3. Well, let's try to recoup at least half our entry in the final round. 5th and final round on the draw. This hand has a tap land in it, so we're going to mull this. I guess we have Grief Ephemerate, so keep this and put back a Nazgul. Urz is mine. Sphere. All right, I'm honestly probably pitching Heartless. Exile Heartless. Ephemerate here. All right, what are we dealing with? So I guess I just try to keep them off Tron, right? So I take Sylvan Scrying and Map, and then they just have Ancient Stirrings. Alternatively, I take Stirrings and Map, and then if they brick on the second land, they can't even cast Sylvan Scrying, and then I take that next turn. That honestly seems better. Yeah, let's do that. So let's take Stirrings and Map. All right, so they obviously pop for green. They did find their second land, and it's Urza Saga. Sylvan Scrying for a tower. All right, so this is going to rebound, and then we're going to take the ring. Yeah, take the ring. So then we just play a land and pass. They can actually potentially even win this game off of giant constructs. They just go tower, make a construct, next turn make another construct, play these artifacts, and their saga can fetch Map, which can fetch the rest of Tron. So yeah, there's the tower, and then they're just going to make a construct. Really, they're not just making a construct? I would have definitely just made a construct. Well, they play out everything else in their hand, and which is Star, Relic, Relic. All right, go fetch a Godless Shrine. There's Heartless Summoning, which I still don't think we want to play at this point in the game. Get the other Godless Shrine, play Nazgul, and Grief will be the Ring Bearer. So now they make a very, very big construct, right? No, there's tapping for mana. So then they map, get the other land, they have 5. All right, so there's Tron. They can also cycle a bunch of cards. Cracks Relic, cracks Star for black. So they drew Dismember? No, they just fizzled the mana. All right, play another Nazgul, and then go to combat, swing here and here. And then I should get a loot, discarding Heartless. So they take 7 and go to 10. I play this and pass the turn back. So we do win on the next attack if they don't find an answer, but they can obviously find an answer. All right, 5 cards in hand. What do you got? The Ring. That'll do it. Plays another tower. Map. Cracks Map. Why are they not running Gigantha? Finds Urza Saga. All right, well, let's just get a loot in then. Swing. Another Nazgul versus Solitude. At this point, I have lethal on the board, so I may as well just keep Solitude. So bin the Nazgul, play this land, and then just pass. All right, Ring takes them to 9. Then they get 5 plus 2 more cards to find an answer. Well, 3 mana is O-Stone mana. That looks like an O-Stone. And they don't even have to pop it until our turn. There's a Saga. Well, I don't want to draw more lands, so let's just fetch a Plains right now. All right, go to combat. Don't understand why they're letting us loot, but sure. Discard a land. Yeah, O-Stone, kill all our guys, and then just pass and flash Solitude in. Ring takes them to 7. Draw more cards with the Ring. Well, there's a new Ring. I see no reason to run out Solitude right now when they're just going to make a construct. Karn. Well, now I do. Exile a card from your hand. All right. And then it's at 10, and then we can't actually do anything. All right, we're dead. Sideboard. Needles, Calls, Break the Ice, Boromir to survive O-Stone, Shieldred to kill their walkers, cut all but 1 Solitude, Norn's too slow, Nazguls are too slow. So like that. All right, submit. All right, game 2 on the play. We've got Break the Ice. All right, this is a great hand. Keep this. We have Brought Back and Break the Ice. So this is fine. All right, land, go. Urza Power Plant, Sphere. Land, go. Cracks Sphere for green. Plays Ancient Stirrings. Urza's Tower. Plays Map. All right, fetch. Brought Back on these lands. And I'm so close to being able to overload this, but I just can't wait a turn. So let me think. If they don't have Natural Tron, then they have to map for it on their turn. If they don't have Natural Tron, they map for it on their turn. Then they only have 2 mana. So that means I'm just casting Brought Back. So that means I should cast Nazgul this turn. All right, we're going for the high upside play. High risk, high reward. Pass it to them. They have Tron. Karn the Great Creator. All right, minus Karn. Gets Tormod's Crypt. All right, Tormod's Crypt on the stack. I have to do this now. So fetch, Godless Shrine. Taking so much damage off of this. Fetch, Godless Shrine. Then cast Brought Back. All right, Tormod's Crypt's good. And they're going to dismember our Nazgul. Aw, come on. So now we can't kill Karn off. They're also mapping now. So I can still break the ice to kill all their lands, but then they still have a Karn in play. All right, well, we're doing that. Fetch, get the swamp, overload this. So now they play the land that they got. Karn's minusing. Gets liquid metal coating, so they just have another land in their hand and they're going to start coding us next turn. All right, call the ring. We still can't do anything with that though, but whatever. Let's see, what if I draw... There's nothing I can draw where I don't have the ability to ephemerate it, so let's just pass it back to them. Well, there's the second land, and now they're just going to start coding us. So we have to draw out of this really fast. There's coding. Another Heartless summoning. So we lose another land, and that means I can't play the Sack Shieldred anymore. So even if I draw another card 2 turns from now, I'm still just going to lose to this Karn. Yeah, all right, game over. A disaster. So obviously the previous version of this deck was more colors, and instead of the whole like Nazgul ring tempting package, it was essentially the same thing. It didn't even have like grief in it either. It was more about flickering and getting cheap Mold Drifters and Avalanche Riders. So I feel like, first of all, when it comes to Brought Back and Heartless Summoning, these cards are just very powerful in terms of getting you way ahead on mana very quickly, but it feels like the shell around them doesn't really work. So both this version and the other version have the problem of you can draw the wrong half, where like every Heartless Summoning after the first one is useless. Mostly Brought Back isn't that good after you've already fetched. You need there's only a certain amount of cards that will actually give you card advantage. So in the old version it was Mold Drifter, but sometimes you just wouldn't draw Mold Drifter, and then your deck would just kind of stumble and stutter. Here it's basically the same thing. If you're not griefing your opponent twice on turn 1, you're really not interacting much. And the Elesh Norns and rest of these cards playing this value game are only good if you're playing against another deck that's playing a value game like Elementals. And against decks like Tron, Burn, etc., these cards are not good. You take a lot of damage off of the ring, off of fetch shocking yourself or Brought Back. I tried to maximize the amount of fetch lands that were in the deck versus non-fetch lands so that I would have more double fetches on turn 2 for Brought Back. And that has an inherent tension where, first of all, it means that you can only fetch a very limited number of lands. So this deck only has 6 actual mana sources plus Malakir Rebirth, meaning you can actually run out of lands. It seems like 6 fetchables plus Malakir Rebirth would be enough, but sometimes you want more. But if you cut the fetch lands to play more fetchables, then you don't have as much Brought Back turn 2s as you would like. And only Brought Backing on a single fetch land is also kind of bad. There's also, this deck also just doesn't do very much on the first 2 turns. The ideal play is you turn 2 Brought Back double fetch lands, or you turn 2 Heartless Summoning into the next cards, which means on turn 1 and turn 2 you're often not doing anything, which is pretty bad, especially on the draw and especially against aggro decks. These Nazguls are just not good enough, but even in the other version, like Avalanche Riders is too slow. A lot of this is too slow. And the -1 from the Heartless Summoning is actually quite relevant. It means that your cards like Shieldred's a 5 toughness, well now it's 4 toughness, now it's Furiable. Elesh Norn's 7 toughness, well now it's 6 toughness and they can kill it with Unholy Heat. It makes if you're griefing and solituding your opponent, these are now 2/1s. It makes all your creatures lower power, which means you can't race them effectively, you can't attack planeswalkers as effectively. So there's a lot of inherent problems. I feel like these cards would lend themselves to a good shell, and we just haven't found that shell yet. Any of these, oh yeah, and then also the problem is like you have all these ephemerates, all these Brought Backs, all these Heartless Summonings. So when you don't draw creatures, or when you draw like a creature and it gets killed, then you have all these problems where it's like all of these spells don't do anything when you don't have any creatures around, which means even if you reduce the amount of these cards that you have and you don't play as many of them, you still have the problem of, it's the same problem that decks like Infect and Boggles and all the rest suffer from, which is you have all these cards that depend on you having a creature. So when you don't have a creature or your creature dies, then you're drawing dead cards. Wow, the top 8 is stacked for the Pro Tour. It's 1 Amulet, 1 Scam, 3 Tron, 3 Rhinos. Sounds like a horrible time. Any of these Brought Back shells suffer from the same kind of things, and it most often just becomes Ephemerate copies 5 through 8 with the Evoke Elementals. Yep. I think the issue is just the deck just needs better ETB trigger creatures, especially on 3 mana that you can play after you play Heartless Summoning.